I'm here with Mike Butcher, who is the European editor of TechCrunch, to hear about the latest trends of startups and entrepreneurs in Europe. Europe, not a continent known for entrepreneurial activity.
Well, perhaps back in the past, but certainly what's happening now is that there's a new generation of startups coming through. A new generation of young Europeans who don't think in the kind of stultifying the old manner of old Europe. They think they want to be European, they want to be engaged in new and exciting businesses, and that's what happens now with a startup that you might typically perhaps find that has come out of, say, Slovenia or Estonia, say the new areas of Europe or enlarged Europe, who have their engineering talent and their kind of CEO coming from there, and then you might have a pan-European VC based in London, perhaps. You know, so your money is from Mayfair, your engineers are from the Ukraine, and your CEO is from Copenhagen, or so it turns into
an insta multinational.
Instantly multinational and cross-border. And I think one of the interesting things also is that this sort of barrier to entry, which has traditionally been thought of as Europe, you know, it's hard to do Europe because you have to launch in multi-language. Well, European companies are used to this, so they immediately think of cross-border multinational ideas. And also the other thing is Europe. I mean, obviously, the iPhone or big screen mobiles, and Europe is an intensely mobile-oriented country. We ride on public transport, we hang out in cafes and bars. We don't sort of tend to sit on laptops with Wi-Fi open all the time. So we need to be mobile. So big screen stuff that happens on these new big screen mobiles like the iPhone, the new Nokia N97, all those new generations, the new Android phone, new generation of phones will be coming through. There'll be another development platform as well.
Okay, so the European startups sort of tend to be more mobile.
Yeah, they're thinking but they're thinking mobile as well as web, so they're thinking in a kind of cross-platform way.
And what is the we know the Silicon Valley tale of start in a garage and move on. What is the Euro tale? Does it start in a garage?
Well, I think it might start in a garage, but often spinning out of university projects. I mean, there's also an interesting kind of statist approach to startups.
So the government is involved in startups,
UK,
typically European.
Go to Dublin and throw a stone, and you'll hit a startup that's been funded by Enterprise Ireland, which is backed by the Irish government. In air there.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing, or
well, of course because it gets early stage. It gets them to that first beta. It gets them. You know, we don't necessarily have the huge angel networks and the kind of the Ron Conways and what have you of this world who are able to just write a check for $100,000 or whatever. You've got to have, you get supported by friends and family. You cobble together some kind of early revenues or whatever it is. So we're very used to living in a slightly poverty environment, as it were, for early stage startups. So you think on your feet, you create new things on the back of that. You see.
Okay, this poverty environment. We've certainly gone into a big time poverty environment. How are European companies, these startups, and the internet zone in general, the zone you cover, how are people adapting to this new reality?
Well, you can already see what's going on at the moment. People are already either flipping what they're doing, or they're certainly changing what they're doing, or thinking certainly in terms of immediately trying to generate revenues, maybe the freemium model or monetizing more early. There is a little bit of a shift towards enterprise applications where there's almost immediately a clients to sell to, as it were, whatever it is that there's a corporate enterprise application or something like that. And also performance-based advertising, so really trying to monetize things by real return on investment advertising, as opposed to just slap on a banner and hope it works. But as I say, I mean, one of the other business models I think is going to be prevalent in Europe, and I think globally for the next couple of years, will be the slow burn. So if you can burn for a long time, make your money last, put everybody back in the Ukraine or back in Slovenia and just burn and burn and burn, baby, for a long, long time, you can beat the guys out in the more expensive places to start up, say in Silicon Valley or wherever.
Okay, and it's going to be, the models are not going to be ad revenues, they're going to be more enterprise, mobile. So you've sort of described, we need to now go out and find that company, that enterprise, mobile, financed by Britain, coded in Slovenia. Okay.
Maybe, that's an interesting mashup, but
all right.
Yeah, it might be out there.
Let's go find it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.